Source engine. Arguably one of the most iconic engines out there. Counter-Strike Source, Global Offensive,
Green, what's your problem, Green?
Team Fortress 2,
I think Heavy is dead.
Heavy is dead!
both Left 4 Dead, and much more games run on Source. If you played Team Fortress 2, CSGO or Half-Life 2 enough, you might have heard the phrase source jank. This generally means a bug in the Source engine. Like this bug on Team Fortress 2 map's Badwater in Blue Spawn. So what the hell is going on here? Well, to put it simply, when you jump on this spot, you get stuck, and the game thinks that you are falling and starts adding downwards velocity. And then, when you exit, all that velocity turns into fall damage. This is not a TF2 exclusive bug, the same can happen in Half-Life 2. Some other known bugs are surfing, mainly used in Counter-Strike, edge bug, again mainly in Counter-Strike, or the most famous one, B-hop or ABH. Bunny hopping isn't a Source engine only thing, it's present in Gold Source or even Quake. Although how you bunny hop in Quake is a little bit different, but not that much different. But how does that work? Well, bunny hopping isn't actually one thing, it's two: bunny jumping and air strafing. Bunny hopping is simply jumping the frame you land on the ground to avoid friction. Congrats, you did your first bunny hop. Now there's air strafing. Air strafing is a movement tech that simply happens when you midair, stop holding your forward key, hold your strafe key and move your mouse there. This not only creates a little bit of speed, but you can properly move around in air. Source is the successor of Cold Source. If you want to know more about Cold Source, then check out my cut and unused content on Half-Life 1. But why is it called Source and not Cold Source 2, like Unreal Engine or id Tech? Well, Eric Johnson said during an interview, when we were getting really close to releasing Half-Life, less than a week or so, we found there were already some projects that we needed to start working on, but we couldn't risk checking in code to the shipping version of the game. At that point we forked off the code in VSS to be both Cold Source and Source. Over the few years we used the term internally as Cold Source and Source. At least initially, the Cold Source branch of code referred to the codebase that was currently released, and Source referred to the next set of more risky technology that we were working on. When it came down to show Half-Life 2 for the first time at an E3, it was part of our internal communication to refer to the Source engine versus the Cold Source engine, and then the name stuck. There isn't really a lot of info on Source, but here's a cool fact. Check out this game. You probably know it. It's GTA San Andreas, released in October 2004. Now check this out. This is Half-Life 2, released in November 2004. You can already see that Source, just like Cold Source, was way ahead of its time. And as much as I love GTA San Andreas, it blows it out of the water. Wait, Half-Life 2? No, that's not correct, that's not the first Source engine game. The first Source engine is... Half-Life Source. Yes, the Half-Life Source, released on June 2004. The abysmal dogshit of a game. Hell, some devs in 2015 had enough and decided to remake Half-Life themselves, calling it Black Mesa. 10 out of 10 game, not gonna lie. And if you're wondering, yes, Source engine still has some code from Quake. Anyways, let's go look at the first chapter. Half-Life 2 2003 or Half-Life 2 Beta is one of the most infamous gaming leaks of all time. It leaked in 2003 by a German hacker who got into Gaben's account because he had an easy to figure password. If we look at how City 17 was supposed to look, then we realize that totalitarianism... Fuck me, dude. Then we realize that totalitarianism wasn't the only thing on the table. It was supposed to be dark and gritty and depressing. This beta still holds some of those elements, but it looks a lot closer to what we got. Let's start with enemies. The assassin, lacking crap tons of code, but the animations are showing that they were supposed to throw knives and have a melee attack. They have zero stats, so we don't know what their damage, health or speed was. Next up, Zombie Assassin. Don't know why he's here, but he has a goober on his head. No idea what it was supposed to do. The Female Assassin is just a combined version of the Assassin from Half-Life 2. No idea if a combined elite was based off her or vice versa. They were able to dodge attacks and had an akimbo pistol. In the full release, they made her into a combined sniper. The concept art is dope, and of course it's another competitor to the Cyber Demon. The Combine Elite. These guys used to be pretty interesting. They were these chunky guys. They look like this because their shader is broken, but otherwise they were supposed to be grey. The cool feature is that they would pretty much cloak with their surroundings, with only their masks, belts and weapons being unaffected. The Combine guards were disguised with this sweet weapon that most of the time one-shots the player. Goddamn Valve sucks at balancing. Their fight would work similarly to Doom Eternal's Icon of Sin. You had to break off armor panels to reveal their body, and then you can kill them. If you did, they printed "No, I'm dead Zor" into the chat. Absolute cinema, I know. The Hydra, a blue tentacle that smacks you but has 20 HP. They have a pretty complicated code that calculates how far they can go, how long they should be, how to not get tangled, and how to go through objects. The Combot, they are an early version of the city scanners, but they have a pepper spray and a melee attack. They would have been interactable by the player since they have an unused speech message.
Citizen, stop. Citizen, do not move. Attention, citizen. Failure to scan. Retinal imprint taken. You may proceed. You are free to go. Submit to be scanned. Present your ID band. Hold still for scan. Hands on your head. Violation has been noted.
Missile defense, a robotic enemy that were used in a deleted sequence where the player would shoot guided missiles, but these guys would destroy it. They would then have to reload, giving the player a chance to destroy them. Ah, here's a classic guy, the Ball Squid. If you played Half-Life 1, then you know how these guys behave. A bit newer model of it was found though. Another old contender, the Houndai. Their model is corrupt, but they were meant to be skinnier and hairier. They use the same mechanics and sounds like in Half-Life 1. And last but definitely not least, the Cremator. I love how these guys look. What they did is that they patrol the streets and clean them with their flamethrower, and occasionally set citizens on fire. Sadly, they have no AI, so they don't do anything. The Manhack. These assholes are the same as in the release, but Civil Protection could just deploy them at any time. Like they aren't annoying enough. The Stalkers, oh my god, give them a snack or two. I'm pretty sure their face is also a real burn face. Cannot wait for the demonetization. Barnacles are done, and when they get killed, they spit out chips like in Half-Life 1. The headcrab looks the same, but just more bloody. Phew, that was a lot of enemies. Let's kill them with some weapons. The crowbar remains pretty much unchanged besides few shaders and animations. If you played Gary's mod, then you know about this unused weapon from Half-Life 2, the Fizz Gun. It was cut due to its limitation in usability, with it only being able to pick up and move objects rather than the gravity gun, which could hurl them and say this. The MP7 looked super rough. It also had a burst fire mode for some reason. I died way too much in DayZ due to the weapons being burst fire and not full auto.
Děláš si píču, kámo, děláš si kurva z mě prdel.
Here's the weird one, the AK-47. Actually it's an AK-74 due to the gas block not being Yeah, I know, this is for the simplicity's sake. It had no animations, but pressing right click would switch between 5 firing modes, being very slow, slow, medium, fast and very fast. There's enough bullshit with Half-Life weapon logic, so I'm glad this got cut. Cause if this got released, it would give me a heart attack. The AR, which is based off the XM29OICW, the recoil would build out the more you held the trigger. It works similarly to the Counter-Strike's Old Oak or SG552, where it would zoom in and reduce the rate of fire. It was eventually replaced by the pulse rifle. The HMG1, based off the Heckler & Koch GR9, again being able to switch between 3-round burst and full auto. This was most likely a combined exclusive weapon since there are animations of them using it. There is also an earlier model, and no, there is no HMG2. The Sniper Rifle. This worked similarly to the Counter-Strike's OP or the SSG, where it would have different zoom levels you can toggle between. It was also a single-fire weapon. Interestingly enough, the player cannot use it at all in the release, but you can use it in a Japanese exclusive arcade called Half-Life 2 Survivor. The Tau gun works similarly to the one in Half-Life 1. It used the AR model as its placeholder, and at some point it was supposed to be removed off the buggy, indicated by this voice line.
We'll get that weapon off the car for you, but you're gonna have to continue on foot.
The Combined Guard Gun. It has an HEV texture stretch over it and one-shots nearly anything. The Immolator is the flamethrower used by the Cremators. It fired a green laser though. The missile launcher based off the FIM-92 Stinger can be found in the files but not in the game. A hop wire grenade which would work like a mine that stuck to walls. It allegedly crashes the game a lot. The Molotov cocktail, nothing too much to it, it's Molotov. It uses a brick pad as its placeholder when you equip it. If you dug around in the Gmod menu a lot, you know about this one, the Slam. And yes, this dates all the way back to the HL2 beta. You could switch between Satchel Charge and Mine mode. It's not present in Half-Life 2, but you can find it in Half-Life 2 Deathmatch. The brick pad is an item that allows you to throw other items at the enemies. These items being a rock, head crab, cremator heads, and a beer bottle. But you cannot do this in the prototype for some reason. The damage calculation is like the bow in Minecraft, where the faster the projectile moves, the more damage it does. The flare gun, again, nothing too special, you shoot it and it sets enemies on fire. The incendiary rifle or eye rifle, in the files it worked like a flare gun, but it had 5 shots. It of course was later changed into a pulse rifle. The ice axe, a ditto of the crowbar, with a faster swing speed and a slower rate. Another Garry's Mod weapon coming up, the Sunstick. It's used by the Metro Police, but you can find this in Half-Life 2 Deathmatch. In the files, it's called P_Sunstick. The P was used a lot in Half-Life, which means this dates all the way back to the 90s. Binoculars. You look through it, that's literally it. V_J test, being based off the MP5K, most likely a weapon by the Civil Protection since you can find it in their texture, which could heavily imply that this is another Half-Life 1 leftover. The Sticky Launcher. This weapon uses the pistol as their placeholder. These will shoot blobs that stuck to anything and will be detonated with right click. If this sounds familiar, then yes, it was later reused for Team Fortress 2 Demo Man. The Fire Extinguisher. Again, nothing too special, it can be found on the Cut Borealis map. A Thumper is a weapon that would spawn if you typed give weapon_Thumper in the console, with it using the Slam as its view model, and appeared as a yellow fire hydrant. These things kept the antlions away. The Roller Wand. This can be used to control the cut NPCs called Roller Body, that would hack open doors, again using the Slam as its view model. In Half-Life 2, the Manhacks are a robotic enemy that charge at you. According to the Half-Life 2 lore, they are controlled by civilians in the Manhack arcade. They simply do not know that they are killing real people. Pretty interesting to see how on surface Half-Life 2 isn't that spooky, but the more you look into it, the scarier it is. The gravity gun, pistol, and MP7 have nearly similar textures. The shotgun looked a bit different, with its sound being completely different. The grenade, again, nearly identical wise to the one in release, but it didn't do the beeping sound nor the flashing light. If you're wondering, yes, it's based off an M83 smoke grenade. The RPG, which had a scope for some reason, it was supposed to work like the RPG in Half-Life 1, where if you pressed right click, it will toggle between tracking and not tracking. And Bugbait, which had an uncompatible model, meaning it was an error model when thrown. In the book Raising the Bar, which is a book on the background of Half-Life 1 and 2, Dr. Kleiner was called Kort, after the person he was based off. He was later used for a Counter-Strike source hostage. There was supposed to be a digger in Raising the Bars, a player was supposed to use it in Ravenholm to dig through rocks, and ram into a MoMA pod, an object that spawned headcrabs just like the Gonarch in Half-Life 1. But since it's a Valve game, once you get in, you cannot move or get out. Thank you, Valve. I'm gonna once again skip over the voice lines, but the Citadel was supposed to be a partially living organism with having sounds when you hit it. And that's about it for the beta. A lot less interesting stuff than I expected, but honestly, it's a beta and still I had a lot of cool features.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine.
Half-Life 2, an absolute unit of its time running on the Source engine. So let's take a look at its unused content. There are icons from Codename Gordon, Counter-Strike, Counter-Strike Source, Counter-Strike Condition Zero, Deathmatch Classic, Day of Defeat Source, Half-Life, Half-Life Opposing Forces, and Team Fortress Classic. A background test, which was a picture of a cat, which was supposed to be the test for the orange box, but remained in the files, and other orange box leftovers. A scrapped achievement was given when you spot a G-Man. Speaking of the G-Man, there's a Half-Life 1 G-Man in the files. The 1984 novel, which would be pretty fitting into the beta, also appeared in the Counter-Strike Source's assets. Some ammo icons and squad icons. Hey, remember that source engine of Gordon? Yeah, well, those aren't real, since this is Gordon in Half-Life 2. Yes, it's just an untextured model from Half-Life 1. I don't blame Valve honestly, since you're not supposed to see this. A camera, which was later moved to Team Fortress 2 before being scrapped again and remade into the memory maker. and a rifle shell, most likely a leftover from the AK in the beta. I'm gonna skip over the differences in the day 1 version, but I recommend watching Was Half-Life 2 Better on day 1, since you can see some of the differences there. A debug menu in all Source games can be seen if you press Shift and F1, although you need SV cheats to enable them. If you spent good amount of time with Alex, you may know that she has a bit different pistol. If you beat the living shit out of her and take the weapon, you realize it doesn't have the model, but it has the full auto option with no recoil. Grigori's gun, known as Annabelle, is a lever-action hunting rifle based on the Winchester model 1886. If you gave it to yourself with GIF-weapon_Annabelle, the U model would be the shotgun, and the clip having 2 rounds from the 357 pool. It's extremely accurate and it again has no recoil. Both of these weapons have no recoils and nearly no animations due to it not being meant for the player. But to make everything simpler, they copied the weapons and changed the statistics and gave it to the NPCs. A brake pad is present in the file, same with the flare box and sniper round, reading obsolete. Alex's gun wasn't meant to be a pistol, the full auto mod was supposed to transform the weapon into an SMG or a rifle, the ATF is gonna love this one. Poisonhead Crab had an animation where it would spit on you, probably to make up for the ball squids. Metro Cops, Vortigons once again having an animation of being grabbed by barnacles. The intro is actually a map called, well, Intro, but loading into it, you wouldn't see the logo or the anti-mass spectrometer. It also has missing textures and it not having footage from the Citadel.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine. Not that I wish to imply you have been sleeping on the job. No one is more deserving of a rest, and all the effort in the world would have gone to waste until... well, let's just say your hour has come again. The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. So wake up, Mr. Freeman. Wake up and smell the ashes.
The PS3 version also has G-Man's voice weirdly pitched up.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine.
Most likely due to the sounds being converted to 24 kHz. And lastly, there's a weird Easter egg in Black Mesa East where you could see G-Man's face. And that's it. I honestly know that this video seems a bit lazier, but the models I talked about in the retail version, like the sniper bullets, were most likely missing from the files. I don't know if I'm just blind or if they were removed in the 20-year anniversary, but trust me, I tried my best to make it as comprehensible as possible. The models were so painful since every Half-Life 2 asset is encrypted, so my days looked like this. Find the model, unpack it, find the texture, unpack them, decompile the textures, convert the textures, port it all to Blender, texture, disable level of details, texture it, rotate, export. And that went on and on and on for like 10 different models. Oh my god, that was terrible. But honestly, I was pretty lucky since Crowbar, the software I used for the Half-Life 1 video, also supports Source and can decompile these things. The blades of the manhack, for some reason, are just a square, which when I ported the blade texture to Blender, it would create these black spots. So what I did is open up Photoshop, blue screened the entire thing, I did the normal rotating sequence for the blades, then did the manhack and stitched up all in Premiere. Honestly, I thought about also using a PNG, but then I kinda had a big brain moment and just decided to settle on that. It may not look perfect, but it's closest I could get. The CD scanner is a whole different thing though. When I tried to texture that thing, it just came out as black, like always. So I just said fuck it, I'm just gonna use a PNG on this one. I'm kinda sad that I didn't get to talk about more about the Half-Life 2 beta. Sadly, it's more of the Half-Life 2 we got than what was promised from the concept arts, but honestly I am afraid that we will never know what the Half-Life 2 was supposed to be, or what it was supposed to be about. Also, did you know that there were actually 2 more episodes planned? The third episode was just called, well, episode 3. There's not a lot we know about it, but there's speculations that we are supposed to go to Borealis. But I'm gonna be honest, without the old stalkers, it just doesn't look right. Like sure, they are horrifying, but honestly they would fit the theme of the beta and the Borealis a bit more. The fourth chapter, by far the most surprising one, is called Return to Ravenholm. We will play as Adrian Shepard and we will continue on the story of Grigori. I'm pretty sure some gameplay leaked of it a while ago, and we could see Grigori eating a headcrab or something, I don't know. And before I end the video, I want to talk about some crap from the old one to clear some things up. No, Quake didn't use id-Tech1, that's Doom's engine. Quake engine is being only used by Quake, and Quake 2 uses id-Tech2 is partially correct. While yes, id-Tech2's old name was Quake engine, it still doesn't change the fact that Quake 1 uses id-Tech2. Yes, Otis was in opposing force, I just didn't recall him since I haven't played opposing forces enough. The weird red glasses on the AGCU pointed out by Super Xavier R is a fault on my side, since the glasses have a green tint and my green screen is, well, green. It keyed out the glass tint, resulting in the glasses being red. Yes, I did use the wrong battery model, I don't know how I missed that. Yes, I'm Czech, not Polish. And the last oversight I'm gonna talk about is that Gordon was called Ivan the Space Biker, I just completely forgot to mention that. But yeah, that's it, enjoy the rest of this time lapse and some extra scenes. Anyways, let's go look at the first chapter. But, a little recapitulation. We play as a scientist called Gordon Freeman. On May 16, 2000, during testing, we caused a resonance cascade that opened a portal from an alien dimension called Zen onto Earth. Hey, that sounds a bit familiar. After about 12 hours of getting onto the surface, and later into Zen, we killed the boss, being this guy called the Nihilinth. But then, this guy appears, which is called Government Man, or G-Man for short. He cuts us a deal. We either accept it, and accept a job, or we die. With the canon ending being that we accept this job. If you're wondering, he does the same thing for Shepard in opposing forces. Barney in Blue Shift just escapes.
We made it, Mr. Calhoun. We made it.
Remember him, he owes us a beer.
Hey, catch me later, I'll buy you a beer.
About 20 years later, we wake up as Mr. Freeman arriving to City 17. City 17 is built to be like a society in 1984, with a totalitarian regime with metro cops ruling over us. But wait, I smelled something. It's like a beer I'm owed.
About that beer I owed you.
Turns out Barney is a double agent and our mission is to free Earth from this regime. This story later falls into episode 1 and 2, but I haven't finished those, so I don't know much about those. Anyways, let's go look at some cut content.
Já nebudu šlat,